Corelyzer. This tutorial describes how to customize section names in the Convert Tabular Data dialog. This is useful if components of your section names are in separate columns, or if you want to add a prefix, suffix, or other arbitrary text to your section names before importing. In this example, I have section images named in the IODP format. The section names in my data must match these image names exactly for data to be plotted. So now I will open my data file by going to Load Data, Convert Tabular Data to XML. Select my file. As you can see, my data file section name components are in separate columns. We can use a special expression in the section name column field to dynamically combine these when data is imported. This expression consists of one or more elements separated by commas. Numbers are interpreted as the contents of that column for each row. All other values are interpreted as is. So what we have here is our components are divided into 7 different columns. I need to combine all 7 of these correctly so that they match these sections. So first thing in the expression is this 318, the expedition. So that's the first thing I want in the column. So that's correct. Next, I want to have a hyphen. In order to add a hyphen, I do a comma, and then I add a hyphen, and then I add another comma. And now if we look at my section name preview, you can see I'm off to a good start here. I've got 318, and then I have a hyphen. So as you can see, the 1 was interpreted as the contents of column 1. So in this case, 318. The hyphen is just interpreted as a hyphen. So now we can proceed. The next thing I want is U1357, which is my site. So that is in column 2. So I'm going to enter a 2 and then another comment. As you can see, I've already got U1357. Great. Next, I want an A. That's my whole. In this case, there's no hyphen between these, so I'm just going to enter 3 and another comma, and look at this. I've got U1357A. Now we need another hyphen, so I'll enter a hyphen. There it is. And then we want 1H, so that's our core and our type are combined. So core is in column 4, so I'll put a 4 there. Type is in column 5, so I'll put 5 there. And now we've got our 1H. Now we need another hyphen, so comma, hyphen, comma, lots of commas. Then we need our section number, which is in column 6. And another hyphen. And then last, we need our archive or working half indicator, which is in column 7. So I'm going to put 7. So there you have it. I've got a complete section name that matches my very first section. The preview will always show the generated section name from the data start row. So if you're concerned, so this applies to every single row. So for instance, if let's see, I'll scroll way down here to this row, which is U1357B1H2A, just to preview, if I put 1147 as my data start row, you can see it's now going to show that that's the generated section name for this row. So this is a per row operation. So this pattern will be applied to each row in your data range from data start to data end. So I start from data row 3. And that's basically how this works. I should also point out you can use this to add arbitrary text. Like if I wanted to add a prefix, I could just say prefix. And as you can see now, prefix would be put in front of every single section name. I could do the same thing as a suffix. Suffix, and you can see there's a suffix there. Or I could just insert that text in the middle. I could say 4, comma, moo, comma, 5. Oh, look, 1 moo h. So you can insert text anywhere. The key is to remember that anything that's just a number will be interpreted as a column. Anything that's not a number will just be interpreted as is. So, to go back to my original expression, I'm going to make sure I have the other import parameters right. Data start row is 3, data end row is 3293. Fields row is actually row 1. We have a units row that's 2. Our depth column, I believe, is actually column 10, I don't know, column 9. Let's see, yeah, we're going to use column 9 as our depth column. That is an accumulated depth column, I believe. We don't have to ignore any values. So I'll go to field selection. The only meaningful bit of data in here is bulk density. So finish. I'm going to demo import, save this. And as you can see, now that file has been imported and added to my session. And if I try to plot it now, if I got my names right, it should work. I should see data plotting on all of my sections. And look at that, I do. There's no data for the core catcher sections, that's why you don't see one there. So that indicates that I did this correctly. My data's names matches my image names. So that is how you use the comma-separated expression in the section name column field in order to combine elements of your columns into section names for each row. So it's a little tricky, but once it makes sense, it's a very powerful and flexible feature. Of course, that's something you could also just do in Excel before you import your data, and that may be easier for many users. But it is a convenience feature that is also available in Corelyzer. So I hope this was a useful demo. Have fun with Corelyzer.